I took students on the MA West Midlands History Group to the Ironbridge Gorge Museum as part of their exploration of historical methods and research techniques. I think the most important thing I would like to see the students getting from the trip would be an indication of how words that one might read in manuscripts or in books actually have a reality beyond the printed page or the written page. Seeing what a blast furnace actually looks like as a piece of industrial archaeology is important, rather than just reading about how a blast furnace worked in a textbook.
Before we actually visited any of the sites, we were given a talk by Dr. Dehaan, and that put it all into context and gave us an overview of actually what we were there to see, and I found that extremely interesting because it put the whole thing into perspective.
To go in an academic context means that you get to question actively what you've been told in the past, to find out things into a greater depth than you would if you were just on a day trip. It's hard to kind of visualise how industrial it would have been, but it was. It wasn't all green and pleasant.
If students come away from the visit seeing how the locality and dimensions associated with the locality are essential components of historical study, I'll be very pleased.
The way it ties in is that it makes you think about why places in this region became so important for industry. What was it specific that made industries settle here? Why did they grow up?
I'd seen plenty of pictures of the bridge, but this is another very memorable thing for me, is standing underneath that great iron structure and appreciating the fact that it was built on carpentry principles.
I went up and I actually looked at the joints. It made me realise that I'd walked past this thing lots of times and not realise the significance of how it was a transition between one form of technology to the next. And that to me was really, really significant. It was the transition point and you could see it.
To go there and to just feel the air, to walk the streets, to be in the buildings, it gives you far greater a sense of atmosphere and a much better understanding of how people lived and worked. Although of course we have to recognise that in the 21st century we're not looking at the environment as it quite was then.
I think it's very important to have visits on a programme. In my experience, the students get a great deal from them. Not least is the fact that they're walking and seeing rather than listening and talking. History is a learning subject, it's an academic subject, it's a subject where one can learn about the past, but it's also where one can experience the past and enjoy the past and stimulate one's imagination. And in my experience, that is what happened on the Ironbridge trip.